What's up everybody, I'm HoopsandHipHop. So, as I was working today on Saturday's video, which, by the way, if you have not yet, please do hit the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as that video and all of my other videos go live, because it's going to be a great one. But as I was working on this video earlier today, I had to do some research on Shaymin, and as I started looking into Shaymin more and more, an idea started coming into my head that had me doing some theorizing, and eventually I decided that this was a cool enough idea that I might as well just make it into its own video. So that's exactly what we're here for today. Now, this theory centers around the more popular theory that Shaymin and Virizion could have at one point been a part of a single evolution line and could have possibly been an early concept design for a starter before they were split apart and used for other purposes. Now, if you look at Shaymin's land form, Shaymin's sky form, and Virizion, they all look very similar in concept, design, and they look like they transition very naturally into one another, especially when looking at Shaymin's sky form to Virizion. Even though those are two separate Pokemon entirely, they look legitimately like they could be part of an evolutionary family. So this is where this popular idea came about, that maybe these guys were one and the same and part of some sort of starter evolution line or regular evolution line before they were ultimately split apart. But as I started looking into these Pokemon more and more, I started to find even more similarities that suggested that maybe not only were these guys an evolution line and possibly even a starter evolution line at some point, maybe they were an early idea for a Kalos starter line of Pokemon. And the reason why I say this is because all of these Pokemon, despite being introduced in different generations, have a lot of connections to France and Europe. I started making these connections by looking at Virizion. Now, if you look at Virizion and the entire Swords of Justice, they are based on the Three Musketeers from the famous Three Musketeers novel, which is a French novel, and the musketeer is a French term. So this is a very strong connection to France that comes from a generation that is based on the United States. And even though the United States is more of a hodgepodge of cultures and ideas and doesn't really have one particular culture or idea that stands out, it's still kind of odd to have something so overtly French in a region based on America. So on a hunch, I decided to go look at Shaymin and see if Shaymin had any sort of connection to France, and sure enough it does, because hedgehogs are found all throughout Europe. And if we look more specifically at the European hedgehog, the European hedgehog is said to be a favorite in gardens because it gets rid of pests and different things like that. And that is very, very interesting and very striking, because obviously Shaymin is a literal hedgehog, and it lives in an actual garden in the flower paradise in Sinnoh, so this looks very much like it could be an inspiration for Shaymin, especially when you consider that the hedgehogs are a favorite in gardens because they get rid of pests. And what does Shaymin do? Shaymin can literally purify areas and make them fill up with flowers and life and different things like that, which is kind of like Pokemon's version of this concept and design in real life. And if you put this together with Virizion, you not only have an evolution line that makes sense from a design perspective and an appearance perspective, but you also have an evolution line that makes a ton of sense in terms of their inspiration, because they share a French inspiration, going from a hedgehog that is based on the popular European hedgehog to a Pokemon that is based on the French musketeer. There is France inspiration all throughout this supposed evolution line, despite none of these Pokemon seemingly being connected to France. And that's personally why I think there could have been a connection to the desire to put these guys in a France-based region at some point. Now, there is one slight hole with this idea that I'm going to go ahead and address now. Obviously, Shaymin was introduced in Generation 4 well before Generation 6 was a thing, and in particular, it was introduced in 2008, so well after Generation 4 had started. We do know from interviews that Pokemon X and Y began development in 2010, so wouldn't the fact that Shaymin was revealed all the way in 2008 make it a little bit too early for it to have been a part of the idea that would become Pokemon X and Y? Well, actually, not necessarily. Yes, 2010 is when Pokemon X and Y began development, but obviously you can't exactly begin development on a game until, specifically a Pokemon game, until you know where this game is going to take place. So it can be reasonably assumed that they would have had to have decided that they were going to make a region based on France before before they officially started building the game itself, and I believe that this is possibly where Shaymin could have been in the works. Then, as they developed Shaymin, they decided to develop Virizion, and this very early starter evolution line began to form. However, since it was so early in the development of the idea of a France-based region, they decided to go ahead and use these Pokemon for different things, because obviously they liked the Pokemon enough to use them, but they felt it was a little too early to start reserving Pokemon, if you will, for Generation 6, when at the time Generation 5 hadn't even came out yet. But I want to know what you think. This was kind of just a fun little theory, like I said, that I thought up as I was making my other video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, though. If you did, be sure to give it a like. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of it, what you think of Shaymin, Virizion, like, just let me know your thoughts on this theory. And yeah, it was really fun to do this bonus video. Eventually, I do want to get to the point where I'm doing 3 videos a week, but for now, it kind of just is going to be 2 videos a week, an occasional 3rd video whenever I get an idea for one, or if news comes out about the next Pokemon games or something like that. So if you want to be a part of all of that, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when my videos go live. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back on Saturday with another video soon, and until then, as always, love you guys, and I will smell you guys later.